if they're a carnivore. Same thing with humans. Humans should be eating what dogs eat too.
So naturally, I click thinking, what could they possibly be eating? What the heck is
Much. And a lot of that water contains heavy metals, and it gets down into the seed, which is the rice, and that's where all the heavy metals conglomerate at. So I do agree the white rice is gonna be toxic, but the ground meat, I mean,
Hello. Doing some things off screen really second. Second. Okay, so I need to copy this. Oh, properties got fucked up. Alright, that's fine. Alright. Video title.
YouTube, what is going on? YouTube.
See, ethics. Can you hear me? Theories. Where is applied ethics? Yeah, applied ethics. Okay, we got actual studies. Let's expand this. Back to the project. Put this right there. That right there. I love it when people assert that something is good or bad for you simply because of masculinity. It's always fascinating. As if food somehow represents a hormone or a sexual identity.
What is going on? We're back. Today we're gonna be watching this lady's video. Why are Gen Z men like this? We're gonna see what she's talking about here.
Headlines about the disturbing way men are eating right now. Gen Z men are eating the human equivalent of dog food. Boy.
Dog food? First of all, dogs are supposed to.
Actually, there's plenty of studies that show that dogs live longer if you feed them on a plant-based diet. Unlike cats, dogs are not obligate carnivores. So, yeah, dogs live longer on a plant-based diet. Yes, dogs can thrive on a plant-based diet. As they are omnivores, not carnivores, that have genetically adapted to digest starches and meet their nutritional needs through properly formulated plant sources. Large-scale studies, including a 2022 survey of 2,000 dogs, indicated that the AAFCO compliant plant-based diets are associated with a 14 to 51% lower illness risk. So, if your dog is not on a plant-based diet, they have an up to 51% increased illness risk, which is why a lot of dogs get cancer. I don't know how people still haven't figured that out. But compared to conventional meat diets with no evidence of detrimental effects when balanced correctly, again, you have to balance it, obviously. Um, Not all plant-based food is equal. Dogs with animal protein allergies. So dogs can also have animal protein allergies. This means that dogs can be allergic to meat and dairy. So if a dog is allergic to meat and dairy, then they basically should definitely be on a plant-based diet. And reduced inflammation must be carefully monitored for urinary pH changes and calcium balance. The reason they get increased inflammation is because heme iron increases inflammation in both animals and humans by up to 70%. That's heme iron. Heme iron is a carcinogen, which is a type 1, which is in the same category as cigarettes. Dogs and cats going plant-based could save more emissions than the UK and New Zealand produce. Oh, this is good. I'm about to add this to my raindrop. So that's another way to fight climate change is by switching your animal's diet, if possible. Animal agriculture is responsible for at least 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions. That's actually more than the entire transportation sector, airplanes, cars, all of that added together. But new research from the University of Winchester estimates cats and dogs' meat eating is a bigger contribution to this than we might realize. PLOS One is an incredible scientific source. I've read a lot of studies from PLOS. They're like legit. Um, oh, here we are. This was in 2023. Environmental impacts of the livestock sector are proportional to consumption levels. Do-do-do. Relative consumptions of average livestock animals were dogs 17%, cats 2 to 3%, humans 80%, and globally dogs 7 and humans 91%. Full transition to nutritionally sound vegan diets would spare from slaughter the following numbers of terrestrial livestock animals annually: billions, as well as billions of aquatic. Very large impact reductions, climate reductions, are also associated with land and water use. That's is because an average single lunch, animal product lunch, uses 37 bathtubs of water. Acidifying and eutrofying gases and biocide use. If implemented globally, nutritionally sound vegan diets would free up land larger than the following nations: for dogs, Saudi Arabia or Mexico. Cats would be Japan and Germany, and humans and Russia, the world's largest country combined with India. Such diets would save freshwater volumes greater than all renewable freshwater in the following nations. Such diets would reduce greenhouse gases by amounts greater than all greenhouse gas emissions from following nations. I'm going to have to add this to my raindrop. Climate studies. All right, so his claim is humans should eat what dogs eat. That means nothing. That's like saying cannibals should eat what cannibals eat. Um, this is really weird title, Witless Humanoids, which almost sounds like something like an AIer would use, which is really, really weird. Meat is the only food needed, quote, vegetables, soy make you weak slash gay. Okay, so we have a typical misogynist. This guy must not realize that animal products have high levels of estrogen in them. Plants don't have estrogen, but animal products do have estrogen because they come from animals through reproduction. There's mammalian estrogen, which increases estrogen intake anytime you eat or drink any sort of animal products, with the highest being in dairy and cheese. So, where is the estrogen at? Climate solutions. dairy. Is it estrogen here? Well, this is climate change, not the other. Okay, so let's come here. Vegan climate change, vegan studies, dairy. So if we look at some studies here, so according to Scientific American and PubMed, dairy increases your estrogen and also gives you cancer, so it's toxic. It's also in the same category as cigarettes, class 1 carcinogen. All milk, whether from cows, goats, humans, or porpoises, naturally contains small amounts of various hormones, including estrogen and progesterone. Because hormones like estrogen are fat soluble, the level of hormones is higher in whole milk than in skim milk. Organic milk, however, contains about the same amount of hormones as conventionally produced milk. All foods of animal origin contain hormones, but most of our dietary exposure to hormones comes from dairy products. By quantity, as you can see below and at 016 in the video, uh, corticosteroids and progesterone, and there are a bunch of estrogens which concentrate even further when other dairy products are made. For instance, hormones are 5 times more concentrated in cream and cheese and 10 more times in butter. When it comes to steroid hormones in the food supply, about 3/4 of our exposure to ingested female sex steroids come from dairy. This is because it's breast milk, so naturally it's going to have estrogen because you have to, like, rape the animal and then get it pregnant in order to produce dairy, because dairy is not made for humans. It's made for cows. It's made for their calves, not humans, which is why it has estrogen. And the rest is split evenly between eggs and meat, including fish. Indeed, eggs contribute about as much as all meat combined, which makes certain amount of sense since egg comes straight from a hen's ovary. Among the various types of meat, you get as much from white meat, fish, and poultry as you do from pork and beef. And this is just from natural hormones, not the added hormone injections like bovine growth hormone. So it doesn't matter if the meat is organic, you're still going to get the mammalian estrogen. Animals produce hormones because they're animals, and their hormones understandably end up in animal products. But there are no hormones in plants because they're a plant. Plants don't give birth and produce estrogen. So yeah. Also, it's the classic soy has estrogen, which you can easily Google and find out that phytoestrogen is not the same thing as estrogen. Phytoestrogen is a molecule that looks like estrogen, but that's just about it. You can tell it's not estrogen because it has the word phyto in front of it. It's not estrogen, it's phytoestrogen. It doesn't actually increase estrogen levels in humans. So let's see here. As you can see, look at all these hormones in dairy. So if you want to argue that a food can quote unquote make you gay, there's nothing more gay than meat and dairy. Fun fact. Even though hormones don't make someone gay, it's this guy is like incredibly stupid. This is like a case study on Dunning-Kruger essentially. He points to no studies at all. He watches someone else's video and then just says, that's bad for you. Doesn't point to any science, no evidence, nothing. He's probably never read a scientific journal or a meta analysis or can tell you the difference between a regular study and a meta analysis in his entire fucking life. People like this don't deserve a platform. He is attaching masculinity and sexuality to food, which is incredibly weird. Instead of presenting evidence, the NIH, which is the National Institute of Health, states humans cannot synthesize vitamin C and need it from diet. So, meat gives you everything you need is already medically unsafe when stated broadly. Vitamin C is in plants as well. There's also another fallacy. Rice is toxic because of arsenic. Let's go ahead and continue a little bit here.
To be eating what every fucking animal eats on Earth.
So, this is the Dunning-Kruger subject apparently doesn't understand that most animals are herbivores. They think that all animals eat meat, and he's making a broad generalization that all animals eat the same thing, which is empirically, objectively untrue by this mere fact that herbivores exist. Herbivores don't eat meat. So, yep. And dogs are omnivores, not carnivores. So dogs are carnivores just like humans. Cats, however, are carnivores. They're obligate carnivores. I haven't read the data on whether if you can safely sustain a cat on plant-based diet, but it's not going to be as clear-cut as dogs or humans. So this is very interesting. He's making assertions as if he knows and his word is biblical without posting any studies. He seems incredibly convinced. He calls other people witless humanoids and giving false information on diet, which is exactly him. So he has no self-awareness that he is the very thing that he accuses other people of being and doing.
If they're a carnivore.
If they're a carnivore. So dogs aren't carnivores. Humans aren't carnivores. We're omnivores. So he doesn't even know that humans or that dogs are omnivores. Incredible cunning Dunning-Kruger. Incredible Dunning-Kruger. Dogs and humans are not carnivores. They are omnivores.
Fucking animal eats on Earth. If they're a carnivore. Same thing with humans. Humans should be eating what dogs eat too.
So now
Humans should be eating what dogs eat. But so he thinks that dogs are carnivores and that humans are carnivores. Therefore, they're carnivores simply because he believes they're carnivores. Well, using actual logic and science, you should say humans and dogs should be eating what the healthiest choice, the logical and sane choice, which are plant-based foods, because they're omnivores. And if you're going to choose whether to eat animal products or plants, the only logical choice is plants, because it's logical, because that's what the science says.
naturally I click thinking, what could they possibly be eating? What the heck is boy kibble? And then I watch the video.
Kibble?
It is just
Meat? Ground meat is called kibble now? I'm confused.
ground beef and rice. That was it. Super anticlimactic. There was a disturbing part in the end, though.
Beef and
Everyone's
rice.
reaction to this food. Because tell me why dietitians are
He also has
furious
his
about this.
volume turned
Media
all the
is
way down low.
freaking out about the whole thing. Boy kibble is the new toxic internet.
Boy kibble.
Toxic? I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, meat is toxic. Meat is the same class as cigarettes. So, if you wanted to debate that, you would have to debunk the World Health Organization and the CDC and hundreds of studies and meta-analyses. You would also be arguing that cigarettes aren't toxic, logically, if you were to debate that.
The rice is toxic. The rice is gonna be full of arsenic.
Actually, this is wrong. Partial truth used dishonestly. So this is again someone that doesn't understand anything between. He doesn't understand that truths can either be partially true or fully true, or empirically true, subjectively true, or objectively true. FDA does monitor inorganic arsenic in rice, but that does not mean that rice is automatically toxic in the simplistic way he says. The actual safety advice is risk management and dietary verity, not panic rhetoric. This is emotion based rhetoric. Also, how do you explain people that have eaten rice since ever? Like many Asian cultures, they live off of rice. So, I mean, it's just pretty obvious that that's wrong what he's saying. It's pretty obvious. I never understood people that like choose to live against science and live on emotion. That's really weird.
The rice is toxic. The rice is gonna be full of arsenic because
And
how
he says
rice is
full
grown
of
is
arsenic. So again, that's a partial truth, not like a complete truth. Like he's saying it's not full of arsenic. Something can have a little bit of something in it, just like cigarettes aren't 100% rat poison, but cigarettes do have a percentage of rat poison in them.
it's in a giant field of water pretty much. And a lot of that water contains heavy metals, and it gets down into the seed, which is
That's funny because animals have heme iron in them, which increases inflammation by up to 70% and causes cancer and increases your risk for type 2 diabetes. So, yeah, and he's talking about down into it get like he's spreading pseudoscience. Like there's nothing to back up what he's saying. He's literally saying that plants contain heavy metals, but that's not true. And that also he doesn't understand that like plants and animals can have like a low percentage of something. He thinks that just because there is something in something that it's filled with that something. This is like pouring a little bit of water in a cup and saying that cup is filled with water. It is a full cup of water even though there's a little bit of water in it. That's the distinction that's the mistake he's making.
which is the rice, and that's where all the heavy metals conglomerate at. So I do agree the white rice is gonna be toxic, but the ground meat, I mean, the ground beef is the meat is the only food on earth that you can eat. By itself, it survived.
That's actually empirically not true. That that just by the sole fact that we're omnivores and dogs are omnivores. I really hate stupid fucking morons like this. Like I don't understand how in the year 2026 we have narcissists that are completely like tarded to the point where they don't even know that humans are omnivores. That's crazy. He literally thinks rice is toxic. Crazy. I've never heard such a fucking batshit crazy person before. This is like one of those vegans that like talks about like simulation theory and shit. So let's see, meat studies. Oh, that was so hard finding a study. Red meat and processed meat consumption has been hypothesized to increase risk of cancer. The evidence is inconsistent. However, there are a lot more studies that show it is. The World Health Organization has labeled meat as a carcinogen. This is because some people this is because of genetic variation. Just like the fact that not everyone that smokes cigarettes gets cancer. There are some people that have like a genetic resistance to cancer and uh various toxins, which is why you can have someone that smokes from a young age to like the ripe age of 90 and doesn't have cancer. I mean, it's not typically common, but it does happen because, again, genetic variation. Just like some people are allergic to animal products or some plants. So, okay, it's a 2A. Could have sworn, okay, yeah, it's a group 1 carcinogen. Okay. Processed meat is a group 1 carcinogen. Red meat is classified as a group 2A carcinogen, indicating that it is carcinogenic to humans. Processed meat includes bacon, ham, sausages, hot dogs, and deli meats that have been cured, smoked, salted. Consuming 50 grams of processed meat daily increases the relative risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. Red meat includes beef, pork, lamb, and goat. Consumption is linked to a 17% increased risk of colorectal cancer for every 100 grams eaten daily. So the more you eat, the higher the chance of getting sick. There was a study I read recently that said meat eaters have like a 50, like about like a 40 to 50% chance of developing cancer from like lifelong meat consumption, which is why so many people get cancer. Well, one of the reasons. So this is what I was mean. This is what I was talking about, not the level of the risk. So some people have like a genetic like resistance to cancers, which is why which is why they say that it can cause cancer instead of like it objectively causes cancer, because some people are just like naturally resistant to cancers and whatnot. Just like some people have cancers that run in their family. So so you can have some people that, because like it runs in their family, you're like much like more likely to get cancer. Also, it sounds like are they talking about raw food? Because raw meat is definitely not safe. So raw meat is only for carnivores, not omnivores, because like carnivores have a higher pH level and acidic level in their stomach, which allows them to break down the raw meat. However, humans are not don't have a high enough pH level to uh s- uh to safely break down raw meat, besides all the other foodborne illnesses that you get from not cooking food. Epidemiological studies suggesting that small increases in the risk of several cancers may be associated with high consumption of red meat or processed meat. Processed meat has been classified in the same category as causes of cancer, such as tobacco smoking and asbestos, but this does not mean they are equally dangerous. So he's literally consuming high levels of estrogen, which cause cancer. He's ingesting heme iron, which causes cancer and increases inflammation by up to 70%. Look at all this estrogen he has. Crazy. Look at all this estrogen. Researchers have analyzed three different estrogens and one progesterone metabolite flowing through the bodies of seven men before and after they drank about a liter of milk. Within hours of drinking the milk, their hormone levels shot up, as you can see in the graph below at 3 in his video. The researchers also looked at the average levels of female sex steroids flowing through the bodies of six school children. If this guy isn't hasn't fully finished puberty yet, his consumption of dairy is actually going to could possibly stunt and affect his puberty. Then hours of drinking the milk, their levels shot up, tripling and quadrupling their baseline hormone levels, as you can see in the graph below. So one can imagine the effects milk might have on men or pubescent children. But what about women? Presumably, women would have high levels of estrogen in their body in the first place, but not all women. Estrogens have a central role in development of endometrial cancer. So, estrogens, there's a link between estrogens and cancer. Crazy. Milk and dairy products are a source of steroid hormones and growth factors that might have a physiological effects in humans. It's 5 times more concentrated in cream and cheese and 10 more times in butter. Crazy. So butter is 10 times has 10 times more estrogen than milk. Crazy. And estrogens are linked to cancer, so more estrogens equals more cancer or higher chance of risk.
and be healthy and survive and be nourished and get every nutrient, everything that you need to survive.
He literally just said nursed. So nursed means breastfeeding. So this guy is apparently still breastfeeding. This guy is still breastfeeding?
You know, by itself, it survived and be healthy and survive and be nourished and get every nutrient.
What? He just said nursed. So he's still sucking on his mom teats? Seriously? This guy's still sucking on his mom's tits? What a fucking freak.
It survived and be healthy and survive and be nourished and get
How is breastfeeding the same thing as eating meat? So, where's the logic in that? Milk isn't meat. If meat is the only thing that can sustain you, then why would you need to drink milk? Really fucking fascinating.
every nutrient, everything that you need to survive. So I don't like. Again, they're trying to push this propaganda.
Okay, so this is an atypical Dunning-Kruger narcissist, anti-science. He's probably also anti-vax, I'm guessing. Um he's he's calling actual studies, he's calling scientists and doctors propaganda, but what he's doing is propaganda. So you know something is propaganda when there's no studies involved, when there's no studies cited. So you don't technically have to like show the study, but you're expected to cite the study. That way people can look it up. Otherwise, you are spreading propaganda. It's ironic that someone would spread propaganda by saying other people are spreading propaganda. This is like atypical like anti-vaxxers. Let's look at the actual definitions for propaganda. Yeah, so is a form of communication that is primarily used to influence an audience and persuade them to further an agenda, which is what he's doing. Um, is ideas, facts, or allegations spread deliberately to further one's cause or to damage an opposing cause, which is exactly what he's doing. So he's spreading propaganda by calling actual scientists and doctors propaganda. Imagine calling the the World Health Organization, the National Institute of Health, and every other scientific journal. Like, he's literally calling world leading experts propaganda. So you know how easy it is to find out if there's soy, if there's estrogen in soy? You just search. Does soy have estrogen? No. Soy does not contain estrogen. Crazy. It's really that simple? Crazy.
Eat soy, eat vegetables. They're trying to make
He can't even say the word vegetables correctly.
you weak.
Okay, so you do realize plants have protein in them, right? There's actually studies showing that plant protein is significantly better than animal protein. So there are plenty of vegan bodybuilders. This is one of them. This guy can lift a car. This guy can lift a car with his bare hands. So how can someone that lift a car with their bare hands from eating plants? How is that weak? Makes no sense. Crazy. There are plenty of vegan bodybuilders. Here it is, Patrick Bowmanian. Vegan since 2011. Oh my god, what the fuck is this? Diet is falafel, vegan sausage, tofu, potatoes, and smoothies. Quote, go vegan and feel the power. Wow, look at this bodybuilder. She is strong as fuck. Protein oats. So yeah, that's another thing. Oats have protein in them. So even things like oatmeal and shit like that has oatmeal in them. Pancakes, lentils, tofu, and dates. Former joint pain eliminated by diet and training, which is really common because, again, you're going to have more joint pains and inflammation if you're not eating vegetables. Crazy.
And they're trying to make you gay.
So he's a homophobe on top of everything else? He's a literal homophobe? I want to know who this dude's parents are. I want to ask them why they're Nazis, why they raised a little Nazi kid. Because this is how you spot a fascist. A lot of bigots will never understand this because one of the links towards bigotry and racism is ignorance and sometimes low intelligence in general. Is that if you're saying a person is being gay is bad, you're saying being gay is bad. So if you're saying being gay is morally bad, then you're a bigot. You're a homophobe because there's nothing wrong with being gay. It's crazy. That's crazy. Because morality is determined by causal effects. It's basic consequentialism. You know, like if you, it's like the trolley equation, for instance. You can move a train to 2 tracks. One track has 10 people in it, the other track has 1 person on it. Depending on what you do, it will go on one of those tracks, and the outcomes of your choice is dictates the morality. Just like if you drop a ball Gravity dictates it will fall as consequence, cause and effect, consequentialism. I really hate fucking Nazis like
By
this.
itself, it survived and be healthy and survive and
Survived.
be nursed and get every nutrient, everything that you need to survive. So I don't like. Again, they're trying.
This guy would not survive a day versus a doctor.
Trying to push this propaganda.
I mean, what's something I don't like I don't understand about stupid people like this is like they're completely complacent being stupid. Like I can't imagine being that stupid and being okay with being that stupid. Like I would actually argue like what he's doing is actually unethical. What he's doing is actually immoral or bad as he simply puts it. Um what he's doing is completely immoral. He's spreading toxic um discriminatory bigotry and disinformation that is hurting people. It's hurting people by cause and effect. Because if you're telling someone disinformation and telling them to eat the most unhealthy foods imaginable, or animal products, the most unhealthy products, if you're telling people to do that and then they eat it and they develop cancer, well, then it's your fault because you're spreading disinformation. Just like telling people not to get a vaccine means you are killing them if they get sick and die because they didn't get a vaccine. It's basic cause and effect. So disinformation like this is actually incredibly harmful. Not only that, because of its ripple effects. So something a lot of people don't understand besides consequentialism is the consequences of the consequences. So if you spread disinformation and then like an impressionable mind takes this and then they spread it and then that person spreads it, so you have multiple people spreading disinformation that's harmful, that's literally killing you. There's a direct tie between eating animal products and a shorter lifespan. This is why the richest people are vegan, because they want to live longer and enjoy their lives. So this is a very good instance. This is a topic I don't see too many people argue for. What was his name? Guy. Brian Johnson. So this Brian Johnson guy. So this is like one of the world's richest men, and he's doing all like so many different things. He takes like dozens and dozens and dozens of vitamins to live longer. His diet is plant-based. Why? Because there's a direct correlation between eating plants and being healthy, aka living longer. Meat increases all-cause mortality, meaning that it decreases your mortal life, like your typical lifespan. So eating animal products kills you faster. You also know that humans shouldn't be ought to do something simply because we did it so long ago. This is what you call an ought fallacy. a what do you call it? It's like a historical ought fallacy. So it's stating that because we were cavemen and we ate meat to survive, that we ought to do it today. But this is a logical fallacy because that makes no sense. Because the average lifespan of like cavemen was 30 years old. So, I mean, if you don't want to live like past 30, potentially, then yeah, eat animal products if you don't care about your health. If you like estrogen and you want to be gay, then eat raw kibble or whatever this is, this toxic internet food trend. Yeah, see, Brian Johnson's blueprint diet is a strictly plant based regimen with the exception of collagen peptides, limited to 1,950 to 2,500 calories per day, prioritizing nutrient density over taste, which is the logical thing. He consumes 3 meals before 11:30 a.m., aiming for 130 grams of protein daily through sources like black lentils, broccoli, cauliflower, while strictly avoiding alcohol, sugar, processed foods, and caffeine. Why? Because these things are unhealthy for you. That's why. These things affect your all-cause mortality. So if you want to live longer, you don't participate in things that have high ACM rates. It's just common sense. Just like if you care about your health, you wouldn't smoke cigarettes or drink alcohol or do heroin or anything else that has a risk for all cause mortality. He takes 40 to 50 daily supplements. Crazy. This is also why you have other smart people that are vegan or plant-based, I should say. Like Bill Gates and some other like very rich people. And here's the logic behind that. If you're rich, wouldn't you do the thing that allows you to live the longest to enjoy being rich? Think about it. If you're a part of the 1%, why wouldn't you do everything you could to live longer? That's by science. Because science is the only thing that works. Fun fact, it's the only thing that actually works, empirically works. So this is why like people like Brian Johnson and the other 1%ers are plant-based. His ultimate goal is don't die, which is definitely delusional, but whatever. I'm 47, but my body is 18. This is a fun fact that a lot of people don't know about biology. Is people think you are your chronological age, but there's a fundamental difference between your biological age and your chronological age. So you can be like chronological like 34, like my birthday is 34, but my body could be younger. Like you see this sometimes like with people like Eminem. Like Eminem has aged gracefully, and he almost like people have like made jokes about Eminem never aging. That's because biologically, like I guess just his genes, he ages differently, like biologically. Just like you have some people that get really old really fast in comparison. His first meal of the day is super veggie, and it features broccoli, cauliflower, black lentils, ginger, and garlic. That sounds so good. The second meal is nutty pudding. Nutty pudding? Okay. Includes macadamia nuts, walnuts, flaxseed, and pomegranate juice, and berries with pea and hemp protein. Hemp protein. Interesting. is valued as a complete protein source, providing all 9 essential amino acids along with high levels of dietary fiber and omega 3 and omega 6 fatty acids. Whoa. Holy shit. This hemp protein powder is crazy. This is crazy. I need to get some of this if I can afford it. I wonder if Amazon takes food stamps. Non-GMO, non-irradiated, vegan-friendly, cold-pressed vine power. The perfect protein. Yeah, it's a whole protein, all essential amino acids in one. This is amazing. Crazy. I'm gonna have to bookmark this. See, veganism. Fascinating. Yeah, and hemp is a plant. That's what I mean. Like plants have protein. A lot of plants have protein in them. I think rice even has protein. It may be a small amount. Let me check. Yes, rice contains protein. Shit, even rice has protein. Crazy. It's not a complete protein, but it does have protein in it. Contains 2.5 to 3 grams of protein per 100 grams, or 4 grams per cup. Interesting. That makes sense because a lot of people lived on rice historically, and like in other parts of the world, like in Eastern cultures, rice is like a staple, what they call a staple, like their main food. So that makes sense. Crazy.
To eat soy, eat vegetables. They're trying to make
Imagine being a conspiracy theorist and for some reason thinking that other people are trying to turn other people gay. This is like Alex Jones level. They're turning the frogs gay. Only animal products have hormones. So I guess he's gay. According to his logic, he's gay as fuck. According to the science and the way he interprets science, he's gay as fuck.
you weak, and they're trying to make you gay.
Food trend.
New this morning, a social media trend getting its hooks into young men.
You know, it's really like a really telling that this is like not just Dunning-Kruger syndrome, but also narcissism. That he's calling people witless humanoids in like an attempt to sound smarter. So this is like it makes no sense. Humanoids. Like so That makes no sense. Why wouldn't he just say humans? But it also is almost like something an AI would say. Witless humanoids. Witless humanoids keep giving out health advice. The irony is that he's a witless humanoid. That's what's funny, is that he's completely witless. By, like, if you were to look up in the dictionary what witless looks like, you'd find a picture of this estrogen looking motherfucker.
Could be setting them up for a lifetime of health problems. Ground beef and
What?
rice. It's easy to cook and it's cheap. What it's not is healthy.
Exactly. Meat is not healthy. I mean, rice is healthy, and it not obviously everything in moderation, right? Everything in moderation, which is why you want a variety diet of plant-based foods, if possible. But even then, you can live just entirely off of oats and still get enough protein. Just oats and still get all your protein.
Honestly, sometimes
Where's your evidence, bro?
This is ironic. He's asking other people for evidence, but he's the one making a baseless claim that's not found in evidence. Like, Dunning-Kruger never ceases to amaze me. Like, you have people that start off, like, he was the one that started making scientific claims at the beginning of the video, and he didn't show any evidence. And then when someone counters what he's saying, they require evidence. So he can make claims without evidence and not have a burden of proof, but anyone that proves him wrong has to show evidence. And also, if he really wanted to check, he could easily find out by a Google search. But this is one of the things about narcissism and Dunning-Kruger syndrome. They will not actively research and try to find out if they're wrong, because they don't want to be wrong. They want to believe they're correct at all costs, even including lying or calling people gay, like bigotry, or other forms of discrimination and whatnot, and propaganda. It's crazy. It is so crazy. Like, fascinating.
You're just
honestly, sometimes
So yeah, he demands evidence at around 2:31, then provides none himself. So this is a hypocrisy hook. He keeps saying, "Where's the evidence?" while making stronger claims without evidence. This is not skepticism. It is selective burden of proof. This is basically someone requiring a burden of proof for their claims, but you don't have to back up your claims. So imagine someone saying the earth is flat, and then someone says it's not, and then they say, "Where's your proof?" Well, they didn't ask for proof for their claim, but they require proof for other people's claims. Crazy. One talking point that I see from right wingers in general, kind of a tangent, is that most right wingers are anti-disability. Like, they're not for helping the disabled people survive if they can't work. They call disabled people a strain on resources. But the funny thing is that those same people consume cancerous products and then typically get cancer. So who's the bigger strain on resources? Left wingers, which are mostly vegan. Most vegans or people on a plant-based diet are left wing, because typically people that are left wing are pro science. So it's just like a logical reality, a logical statistical reality. most right-wingers are anti-science, like this person. They're also anti-gay. Like, it's pretty easy to tell that this is, like, ideologically, politically right-winger without them even needing to say it is. Because, like, there are bigots on the left, and there are science deniers on the left. It's just far and few in between. It's nowhere near as much as the right. So, like, the statistical probability that he's a right-winger is far more leaning in right-wing than in left-wing. And this is why there's also a statistical correlation between anti-vegans and right-wingers, because a lot of right-wingers are Christians. One of the biggest ties there is a whole quote in the Bible that says God gave humans dominion over animals. Even though God didn't create these animals, humans are creating factory animals artificially. So man doesn't have domain over those animals, but whatever.
Where's your evidence, bro? You're just talking out your ass.
That is highly ironic.
Kinda sounds
Let's
like
look at this guy. Like,
Now he's talking about the way this guy looks. Like, has he looked in the mirror? Like, he looks a little obese. He's got like a lot of chubby shit around the neck and stuff, probably from all the cancer and the toxic shit that he's ingesting.
probably soyed up to the max.
He looks healthy. He actually looks a lot more healthier than you. He's just old. Yeah, he's a lot more healthy looking than you. What are you talking about? You've got like 3 fucking chins, dude. How is it that someone that has 3 fucking chins is talking about how other people look? That's crazy.
What it's not.
Fuck out of here,
Moder-
bro.
not stand
And then he just skips past it, of course.
the sound of someone not eating Pop-Tarts. I don't know. Apparently eating moderately healthy is the new toxic trend. What is boy kibble? Experts warn parents about this viral TikTok diet. We've all been there. After a long day at work, you come home, realize you skip the supermarket again and settle for a subpar dinner, a box of ramen, a bowl of buttered pasta, or even a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I feel like this article already really overestimates how much people cook. I know a lot of people who consider ramen, peanut butter and jelly, and buttered pasta like a normal meal that they ate on purpose. Doesn't Trisha Paytas like live for buttered pasta?
Hi everyone, today we are having a butter noodles on the veranda.
At best, you promise multiple times per day. The meal is regrettable and adds only a little sustenance at best. You promise yourself you won't stoop to that level again. But a viral trend is now touting that very simplicity, and the result is something akin to the human equivalent of dog food. Now, as you already know, we are about to be talking about ground beef and rice. Now, we're gonna look at people's videos in a second, but it is not fair. We gotta say, okay? It is not fair to say that a packet of ramen is on the same level of ground beef and rice. And that
Right? There's no way. Like, ramen doesn't cause cancer. But raw meat does.
ground beef and rice is on the same level as dog food. Is ground beef and rice the most nutritionally complete meal
Ground
in the world?
meat.
No, it's not. But is it on the same
Actually, it is.
Actually, it's not. You're wrong. So this is again a logical fallacy. He's saying that it is equivalent, so he's just randomly disagreeing. So if ramen is equivalent to dog food, then why would someone not just eat the ramen? That makes no sense. So he's literally arguing against his own point. He's arguing against his own point.
most nutritionally complete meal in the world? No, it's not. But is it on the same?
Actually, it is.
It's not. You can tell this because one's an animal product and the other isn't. They're not the same thing. Imagine saying water is the same thing as mud. That's as stupid of a statement that he's making. He's basically claiming that water is mud. It's like, no, they're like 2 different things. Like, it makes no sense. The only thing that like pasta would have in common with meat is that it contains water once you make it. Contains water. That's basically it. That's as that's the only commonality between meat and ramen is water. That's literally it.
See, again, these people just make these views.
Rice the most nutritionally complete meal in the world? No, it's not. But is it on the same?
Actually, it is.
Oh, he's saying it's the most nutritionally complete meal. So let's see.
Gotta say, okay, it is not fair to say that a packet of ramen is on the same level of ground beef and rice.
On the
and that
same
ground
level
beef
as
and rice
ground
is on the
beef.
same level as dog food. Is ground beef and rice the most nutritionally complete meal in the world? No, it's not. But is it on the same?
Actually, it is.
Oh, so wait. Hold on. It's hard to hear
Is ground beef and rice
because
the most nutritionally complete meal in the world? No, it's not. But is it on the same?
Actually, it is.
so he's arguing against his own point. Oh wait, no, and then ground beef and rice is on the same level. Yeah, so if ground beef and rice is basically the same thing on the same level, then why do people need meat and not ramen? That makes no sense. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics states appropriately planned vegan dietary patterns can be nutritionally adequate and offer long term cardiometabolic benefits. Not only that, I forget which study it was, but it stated that a plant-based diet is done correctly is suitable for all stages of life, including pregnancy and babies.
Same level as dog food. Is ground beef and rice the most nutritionally complete meal in the world? No, it's not. But is it on the same level as dog food? Is ground beef and rice the most nutritionally complete meal in the world? No, it's not. But is it on the same
Actually, it is. I see again. These people just make these YouTube videos and talk.
That's what this guy is doing, though. It's crazy. Like, that's what he's doing. Like, it's different when you're saying something that can easily be checked and then proven correct, and making false, objectively false statements and then also not proving it. The only difference between her and him is that she's correct and he's empirically, objectively wrong. That's the only difference. So, yeah, she probably should have showed some studies, but that's like saying that gravity's real, and then someone that's never been educated properly saying that gravity isn't real because they didn't show a study with the claim that gravity's real. Does that mean that gravity's not real simply because they didn't show a study for it? No. This is the problem. This is why I constantly challenge my critical thinking skills. This is partly why I do this, so that my brain doesn't atrophy like this. Your brain is a muscle. If you don't regularly use it and exercise and challenge yourself, then it will shrink. Like, your brain will atrophy. There's actually studies that show that religion causes brain atrophy. So I wouldn't be surprised if, like, there's a correlation that if under a proper scope, if it was correlated between an anti-vegan and brain atrophy, since they're both basically the same thing. They're both basically anti-science. They both make excuses without any scientific basis to back it up. And they both are against scientific fact. If you're against scientific fact, then you're never thinking. If you're never thinking, then your brain, the muscle, shrinks, atrophies. So, being better than ultra-processed junk does not make meat ethical, necessary, or optimal. This is a difference between an ultra-processed thing and an organic meat. This is like comparing alcohol and cigarettes. They're both bad for you, but one is not as bad as the other. Crazy how that works. This is almost like an equivalent. I wonder if I can look into that. Like an equivalent comparison fallacy, maybe. So it's saying that two things are equivalently the same, comparatively the same in terms of the outcome of, like, health, but so this is like saying that arsenic is like less dangerous than rat poison, I guess you could say. I mean, there is arsenic in rat poison, but rat poison also has some other things in it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's basically comparing two different forms of poison, essentially. However, the ultra processed noodles, like, it may not be the healthiest alternative, but it is still better and healthier than meat. Even it's even better than organic meat. One, there's no estrogen in it, which causes cancer. There's a link to estrogens and cancer. And two, there's no heme iron in it, so there's no an increased inflammation risk. Um, Three, there's no all-cause mortality risk, so you're not dying faster. So just based on those three, like the noodles is definitely better than the meat. That's crazy. So being better than ultra processed junk food does not make meat ethical, necessary, or optimal. The comparison is rigged. The real comparison is not beef versus Pop Tarts. It is beef slash rice versus beans, rice, lentils rice, tofu rice, seitan rice, or soy curls and rice. Soy does have protein last I checked. I'm going to have to double check that. Yes, soy has is a high quality complete source of protein. I didn't know that. It's a complete source of protein. Interesting. Consuming 25 grams of whole soy protein daily is recommended to help lower total cholesterol, low density lipoprotein LDL, and triglyceride levels. Crazy. So soy is great for your heart, but animal products is generally linked to heart disease because of high cholesterol.
And keep talking about shit they don't even fucking know what they're talking about. What do you mean it's not the most nutritious food?
Yeah, it's not the most nutritious food. Like there is no like
What are you talking about? You don't even. Dude, I fucking hate these types of people, bro. I really do, bro. It's really, especially the Westerners. They're super ignorant about what they.
that's ironic as fuck that just because someone's a Westerner, they're wrong. As if Westerners are the only ones that are ignorant. That's a generalization fallacy, a bias. It's ironic that he hasn't been factually correct about a single claim he's made. He's made several claims thus far and has not been correct yet.
Talk about on a daily basis. And then they try to spread it to other people.
Which is what he's doing with his propaganda. That's crazy. Like, this guy literally has no self-awareness. Like, no self-awareness. Like, I would love to see this guy debate someone that's knowledgeable. Like, they would literally mop the floor with this guy.
B and J. Not even close. One is 2 slices of ultra-processed Wonder Bread with sugared peanut spread and sugared berry spread.
Yeah, exactly. This is the comparison between ultra processed. This is what I was saying. Yeah, better being than ultra processed junk does not mean does not make meat ethical, necessary, or optimal. Just like ultra processed bread isn't as good as like organic bread. Just because bread isn't meat doesn't necessarily mean that the ultra processed is better than the non-processed bread. Like white bread is terrible.
And the other is meat and rice. With this article and the dietitian situation.
But yeah, I agree. The bro, health has gotten so out of hand, bro. People, the experts.
Oh, this is classic Dunning-Kruger syndrome. He's literally calling experts that do this for a living, that get paid doing this, that have gone to college, which he has not done yet. So he hasn't even graduated college yet. And he's calling people that are certified dietitians and nutritional experts. This is crazy. This is like, what do you call it? Narcissistic realism. That's one of the things he suffers from, is narcissistic realism. Why isn't my... Let's see. There we go. I don't know why it does that. I wish they would fix it. Okay, meat ideology. Source plant foods, calorie filler. Vegetables are reduced to anti-nutrients.
Are really saying soy is good.
It is. It's good for the planet, and it's good for you.
They're saying fucking ramen is as good as ground beef and rice. Like, what are we saying?
That's actually not what she said. That's actually not what she said. She didn't say... What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Like ramen is not as good as meat. Because ramen is better than meat for the simple fact that it doesn't cause cancer. Like, I've not seen a study that shows that ramen causes cancer, like, or heart disease, or has estrogen in it, or has heme iron in it that increases inflammation. So based on toxicity, you could definitely say that ramen is better than meat. Like, what are you saying?
So dramatic, I thought we were going to be talking about this. This is a
Food for humans.
The fuck?
Got all my macros that I need, and it's gonna make my coat nice and shiny. Oh man.
such as this guy.
This is my food, and my food is me. I've been eating my food all day, every day for the past 5 years.
Fuck is
I
that?
want to show you what goes into my.
It's kibble. Like, this guy is, like, literally, like, something is wrong with this guy. Like, his parents completely failed him. Like, his parents and the education system completely and utterly failed him. What I don't understand is, in the year 2026, when you have, like, basically any sort of information at your fingertips, how are you this clueless? Like, what are you doing with all your time? You're just watching videos saying they're wrong, even though you're the one that's wrong. It's crazy. So, yeah, the whole video is about kibble, right? So that's obviously kibble. It just showed a guy eating kibble out of a dog bowl, and you're asking what it is. You don't recognize kibble? The video is about kibble, but you don't know what kibble is. Yeah, see? That's kibble. It's a dog bowl. What do you call dog food in a dog bowl? Besides dog food. You call it kibble. Dog food is typically called kibble. Like, this is crazy. Like, I feel like he's going to ask what a tree is at this point. I feel like he's going to say that dirt is a tree, or that dirt is a plant, or that like flour is sugar. Like, this is just so crazy. Like, I feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone episode. Like, I genuinely feel like there's no faith in humanity anymore. This is crazy.
Macros that I need, and it's gonna make my coat nice and shiny. Oh man.
Such as this guy.
This is my food, and my food is meat. I've been eating my food,
My food
all
is
day,
meat.
every day for the past 5 years.
The fuck is
I
that?
want to show you.
He just said it was meat. It's kibble. Like, they're literally saying what it is, and he's like, what is that? What the fuck?
What goes into my food. The biggest ingredient for my food is vegetables. Here.
Bunch of anti-nutrients.
That's disinformation. Vegetables are only nutrients. Fun fact, like most, like I don't like don't all vegetables have nutrients in them? I'm gonna have to double check that so I'm not making a false claim. Yes, all vegetables contain nutrients. That's crazy. So if it's anti-nutrient, then how are do all vegetables have nutrients? If all vegetables have nutrients, how are vegetables anti-nutrients? Let's see. Need copy. It ignores that plant foods are not just calorie filler, they are the basis of a harm-reduced nutrition. Anti-nutrient panic is being used to protect animal consumption from scrutiny. So it's emotion-based logic again. Emotion-based reasoning. Yeah, all veggies have nutrients, so how are they anti-nutrient?
The biggest ingredient for my food is vegetables. Here.
Bunch of anti-nutrients.
Got 11 different types of
Lectins, tannins, goitrogens, phytic acid, oxalates.
He's literally just listing random things like a madman. Like, this is definitely not like sane material.
Terrible.
Totaling about 10 pounds. And then when you're done chopping, it looks kind of like this. And when you mix it up, it looks something like this. 2 packs of tofu, 2.5.
See, and do you see how this?
Let me guess, he's gonna point to like the way this guy looks as if that's somehow scientific.
Guy has zero facial hair whatsoever.
I knew it. Yep. Maybe the guy shaves. Have you thought about that? Like, people shave? Not everyone has facial hair. You have no facial hair. So what's your point? Like, you have no facial hair. The fuck?
This guy has zero facial hair whatsoever. He's just essentially a manly, essentially like borderline gay, borderline transgender.
Oh, wow. So he's an actual fucking Nazi. Hey, look, a completely mentally deficient Nazi. Crazy. Man, I need to somehow get a hold of this kid's parents and like tell them that he's literally spreading like fucking hate speech and disinformation, calling other people hate speech, like using hate speech. That's crazy. He probably he doesn't even agree. He probably doesn't even think that's hate speech for some reason, even though it's in its word. It's hateful rhetoric, hateful speech. It's in the word. It's hate speech.
Then I cook my tofu and chicken breasts with olive oil.
Like, bro, this. If you ever wonder why Asians are short.
Oh my god, he's racist too. Holy fuck. Actual fucking Nazi. I need like a bingo card. I need like a fucking Nazi bingo card. Also, why are you obsessed with other people's dicks? It's pretty gay. Like, I spend zero time thinking about dicks. But apparently, like, dicks are at the forefront of this guy's mind. Like, apparently, when he sees guys, all he can think about are dicks. Crazy. And he's calling other people gay. What is that law? Haggard's Law. Haggard's Law. That's what it is. Let's see. I actually need to make a note for that. Let's see. Make sure I'm actually spelling that right. Haggard's Law. Yeah, Haggard's Law is an internet adage stating that the louder and more frequent one's objections to homosexuality are, the more likely one is to be homosexual. Crazy. It's almost like people that like have this weird obsession with like dicks and masculinity and talk about other people being gay are actually gay themselves, and they hate themselves, so they just kind of externalize that hatred onto other people. Crazy.
Breasts with olive oil.
Like, bro, this. If you ever wonder why Asians are short, have small dicks, and
So this guy is short. Yao Ming is short. Look at this tall fucking motherfucker. Crazy. So I guess like height is a measurement of masculinity to him, which by his own logic it means that he's gay using his own logic. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay, but apparently he's gay because he has no facial hair and he's short, which I guess means he has a small dick by his own logic.
And they have no facial hair?
How do you spell I keep wanting to spell fallacy. Oh, I'll just put fallacy. Okay, I'll put dicks are at the forefront of his mind.
And look like females is because of all the soy that they eat. It's all the
This is like a typical misogynist that I guess thinks that women are inferior to men. Even though there are many women that are biologically superior to him. Like, there's a ton of women biologically superior to this boy. Like, this fucking man-child, whatever the fuck he is. I can't tell because he has, like, multiple chins, so it gets really difficult to tell. Let's see here.
vegetables, the soy. Yeah, it's pretty clear.
I use brown rice,
It's pretty clear that you're mentally deficient and possibly insane.
quinoa. I add my legumes.
Bunch of phytic acid.
What does phytic acid have to do with anything? When you just say random things like that, you sound like a crazy person. Phosphorus in plant seeds, grains, nuts, and legumes. Okay. Wow. It's a crucial role in plant growth and development. Phytic acid functions as an anti-nutrient because it binds essential minerals such as iron, zinc, calcium, and magnesium in the digestive tract. This binding creates insoluble complexes that the body cannot absorb, potentially reducing mineral bioavailability. Potentially, this doesn't say that it absolutely does. However, is also recognized for its antioxidant properties. Oh, and antioxidant properties and potential health benefits. Wow. So right here it literally says antioxidant properties and potential health benefits. Crazy. Supporting cellular health and reducing the risk of certain diseases like colorectal cancer. Crazy. So phytic acid is actually good for you. Damn. I didn't know that. Phytic acid is good for you. Crazy. This is at 6:34. I'm actually learning some stuff fact checking him. And then I'll include a link to phytic acid. Actually, I could probably, let's see, where are the links? Phytic acid, WebMD. We got, here we go. We got a .gov. Wait. Such as decreasing iron-mediated colon cancer. So again, like heme iron causes cancer, and phytic acid decreases iron-mediated colon cancer risk. So it not only is phytic acid better for you than meat, it literally helps fight cancer. Crazy. A natural antioxidant. All right, let me add this to my raindrop. Phytic acid and health and disease. Wait, whoops. Wait, why isn't that copying? There we go, phytic acid and health and disease. And then I'll come to here and then copy the summary for the bookmark. Sweet. I love Raindrop. Raindrop's amazing. So you can easily mitigate and retain the nutritional benefits, such as soaking, sprouting, and fermenting. So all you have to do to get rid of like the bad shit or the anti-nutrients or whatever part of it is soaking, sprouting, and fermenting can also significantly reduce phytic acid content. Wow. The impact of phytic acid on mineral status is generally considered minimal, right? So this is again like this is a lot like a logical like failing that I see a lot of, you know, quote unquote carnivores, even though we're not carnivores, we're omnivores, is that they'll point to something like anti-nutrients and say that it's bad. But here's the difference compared to what? So if you're actually, that's not how you compare like harms to something. This is like literally trying to compare something without the comparison. So if you compare phytic acid to heme iron, then phytic acid is way better than heme iron, because phytic acid is an antioxidant. Heme iron is cancer causing. Same category as cigarettes.
Quinoa. I add my legumes.
Bunch of phytic acid.
This is comprised of lentils, chickpeas, pinto beans, black beans, and red kidney beans.
That's really healthy. That's a really healthy, nutritionally complete meal. Like, that's not even just one thing. That's a bunch of different sources of nutrients. That's great.
This is the final product.
That looks amazing, by the way. That looks
fucking
great.
This looks like the ground if I step outside. Like
What? What? Plants look like the ground? You mean the thing that comes from the ground looks kind of like the things from the ground? Crazy. Have you ever seen a slaughterhouse? Because a slaughterhouse like looks actually bad. Like no one goes outside, steps on the grass, and is horrified. But if you go to a slaughterhouse, you're typically horrified unless you're like a complete psychopath, which this guy just might be a psychopath. It's funny that a lot of people think that psychopaths and narcissists are like inherently smart. There's actually like a low IQ version of narcissism and psychopathy. Like so an intelligent narcissist. So here's like a fun tidbit. So like if you were a narcissist that was high IQ, you would be like Brian Johnson. Do I still have it up here? I guess not. So yeah, you would be like Brian Johnson. So let me see if I can. I'll just type some notes out here. To do. So this is like so you can tell the difference between an intelligent narcissist and like a lower IQ narcissist by the fact like so an intelligent narcissist like Brian Johnson bases his life off of science, because if you base your life off of science then you're never wrong, right? So if you base your life off of empirical scientific fact, you're never wrong. So it typically narcissists can never admit when they're wrong. So an intelligent narcissist would base their lifestyle off of the single thing that means that they can't be wrong. Which Brian Johnson obviously is a narcissist. Not that I'm a doctor or making like an official clinical DSM diagnosis, but he definitely is narcissistic as fuck. Trying to live forever is definitely like immortality. It like I think immortality is a big play into narcissism now that I think about it. Like that's why a lot of people reproduce is some form of narcissism, because if you're narcissistic, then you want some sort of legacy, or you want to create like offspring, so that essentially it's like a miniature you, right? It has like your genetic code or blood or whatever in it. So like that's why I feel like a lot of reproduction at this point in society and the planet is basically just narcissism, because like a logical rational person would just adopt instead of creating more human beings. But again, that's like narcissism. People want like a miniature them. It's like one could say that reproduction is the highest form of narcissism. Yeah, so if you were an intelligent narcissist, you'd base your life off of science, so you're never wrong. Kind of like vegan gains. If you're an unintelligent narcissist, you just say everyone else is wrong when the science doesn't even support you, basically. Let's see, 650.
I think it's beautiful. My
Well,
food has 19 single whole food ingredients. Plus
19 single whole food ingredients. Amazing. That is nutritious as fuck.
tofu.
great.
Always remember that you are what you eat, and
Yeah, so essentially you are essentially malnourished because all you're eating.
What point of 19 different sources of nutrients means you're malnourished? What? 19 single whole food ingredients. That's crazy. So like 19 doesn't mean 0. Like I have dyscalculia. I'm bad at math, not by choice. So even I know that 19 doesn't equal 0.
Well,
food has 19 single whole food ingredients. Plus
So all plants, all vegetables have nutrients. So if you have 19 single whole food ingredients, all 19 of those ingredients have nutrition. Crazy how basic, like, kindergarten logic works. I mean, not for him, but, if you're a smart gardener.
tofu.
great.
Always remember that you are what you eat, and
Yeah, so essentially.
Yeah, you are what you eat. So this, like, I always loved this statement. I'm gonna have to add that again to my to-do. Let's see. Or what you eat. So this means this is the difference between non-cancer causing ACM, diabetes 2, this is also the difference between no murder, so non-murder, and this would also be the difference between climate accelerationism. So non-climate accelerationism. And then animal products would be cancer, ACM, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, what else? Inflammation. What else? All right, and then also murder, also rape, because the animals have to be raped to be bred into existence. So murder, rape, and then climate accelerationism. Yeah, so if you take this and you compare these, which one makes sense? Veggies, which are non-cancer causing, have no ACM or type 2 diabetes, etc. No sentient being has to die, or well, I should put also non-rape. Doesn't have to be murdered, doesn't have to be raped, and also doesn't contribute to climate accelerationism. Or you could eat cancer, all-cause mortality, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, inflammation. You're murdering and raping, and you're literally killing all life on the planet by contributing to climate accelerationism. So contributing to extinction. Which one sounds logical? Obviously, plants sounds way more logical under the scope. So yeah, you are what you eat. A murderer and a rapist, or someone that eats plants. Pretty logical.
You are essentially malnourished because all you're eating. You said you are what you eat, right? So you're essentially eating a bunch of anti-nutrients.
But that's not how anti-nutrients works, because like you can like so like there are some anti-nutrients, but anti-nutrients isn't like an objective all or nothing thing. So it can bind with your receptors and can counter some nutrients to a degree. Anti-nutrients doesn't mean the opposite of nutrients. You can tell in the word. So if vegetables didn't have nutrients, it would be non-nutritional. Notice the difference between non and anti. Crazy how that works. Let's see here. Okay, so we have the difference of here between anti-nutrients and non-nutrients. So anti-nutrients are plant compounds that can reduce absorption of some nutrients under certain conditions. This is a difference between like a spectrum and a binary between subjective and objective. So phytates, oxalates, lectins, tannins, goitrogens, saponins. Harvard notes that these can interfere with minerals like calcium, iron, zinc, magnesium, or iodine, depending on the compound. However, so what he's saying is vegetables steal your nutrients, therefore vegetables are bad. But this is a false equivalence. The existence of absorption modifiers does not make food harmful. It simply means you're not getting all the nutrients. You're still getting you're still getting nutrients. So it's like it depends on like how much of the anti-nutrients does it have. This is like an all or nothing fallacy. So dose, preparation. So again, preparation like cooking, soaking, fermenting, and sprouting and pairing foods can reduce many concerns. So if you just prepare the food or even just cooking it, you basically get out the anti-nutrients. So in his case, there are no anti-nutrients. There's essentially no anti-nutrients because he already prepared it. This is also like why you typically, this is like one of the reasons why you soak beans. If I remember right, because beans can be poisonous if you eat them improperly. Yeah, so that's crazy. So there are no anti-nutrients in that. So anti-nutrients are compounds that are not classified as essential nutrients, like vitamins, minerals, protein, fat, but may still affect health. So phytochemicals, polyphenols, carotenoids, glucosinolates, flavonoids, lignans, organosulfur compounds. He says it's that would be saying you don't need them, therefore they are useless, which is also false. Not essential does not mean worthless. Linus Pauling Institute notes that phytochemicals are plant chemicals that may affect health but are not essential nutrients, and diets rich in fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and nuts are strongly associated with health benefits. So he's wrong, empirically, objectively wrong.
And you're already missing nutrients on.
I haven't heard the anti-nutrient argument in like since I first went vegan. I actually forgot about anti-nutrients. Because obviously if vegetables like if anti-nutrients actually meant no nutrients, then it would just be called non-nutritious. But they are nutritious. They also just have anti anti-nutrients in them as well, but you're still getting the nutrients.
Malnourished because all you're eating, you said you are what you eat, right? So you're essentially eating a bunch of anti-nutrients and you're already missing nutrients on top of that.
No, you're not. Like this is ironic because most meat eaters are actually deficient in what is it, like B12 or whatever. Like, so even most meat eaters are missing essential nutrients or like B12, like vitamins. And so like that's an argument I never understood, is that most people don't even get enough B12 from like fish and stuff like that or meat. Like the absorption rate and the conversion, like a lot of it is lost in conversion between like what the animal eats and what you get from the animal. Like it's a very small amount. So that's why most people just take a supplement. It's that simple. There are also plants that have B12 in them. A lot of people don't realize that, but there are plants that have B12 in them.
So you're essentially malnourished. You're essentially, yeah.
That is definitely
You're
huge.
essentially like an orphan.
Whoa! What the fuck, dude? I fucking hate this tard. I fucking hate this tard. Like, his parents completely fucking failed him. His parents are pieces of fucking shit. Like, it's one reason, like, you could argue that maybe there's a reason to say that to someone if they insulted you first. He's just randomly finding clips of people and literally using hate speech, which is against TOS, against them. That's crazy. Like, dude, I would say touch grass, but you probably don't even think grass is real.
You're essentially, yeah.
You're essentially, yeah.
That is definitely
You're
huge.
essentially like an orphan child.
Food in the most
You're essentially a Nazi. You're essentially a Nazi with a double chin that's short as fuck, therefore has a small dick, and is clearly closeted gay.
And then on top of that, you're just frying your brain with Bluetooth headphones just to wrap it all together. This guy probably,
Which has nothing to do with food, and also in moderation. So if you wear Bluetooth headphones, that doesn't necessarily mean you're frying your brain. Your phone has radiation. You put your phone in your pocket. Like, putting your phone in your pocket consistently for like over a long time lapse can actually lead you to being sterilized, in which case this guy definitely needs to be sterilized. But that doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to be sterilized. Just like it doesn't mean if you use Bluetooth headphones every now and then that you're going to get like brain cancer or something. That's crazy. Like, it's fascinating. The mind of a stupid narcissist.
probably owns a fucking Tesla, bro.
way possible. Like in a way that it's perfectly balanced and concocted to meet all of your nutritional needs.
What is probably owns a Tesla? Like, I seriously think this guy might be crazy.
In one go. You never have to think about it again. Just eat that. Top comment. This guy gonna live forever. He probably will. If you could convince
Probably
people into
won't.
this, you would really
Probably die in like 20 years.
winning life. Personally, I'm not willing to do it. Being
Well, statistically speaking, he's a lot more likely to live longer since he's, you know, eating correctly.
that I have obesity in my genes, I feel like I
What? Bro, dude. Americans are so funny. Like, oh,
Yeah, like you can have like obesity in your genes. Like you like I guess like thyroid. So like if you have a thyroid condition, it doesn't necessarily matter how well you eat. Heritability estimated at 40 to 70%. The genetic component accounts for 40 to 50% of body weight variability overall, rising to 60 or 80% in individuals with severe obesity. So yeah, there is obesity in genes. Crazy how quickly it was to find that out. how easy it was to just Google that. So yeah, there's obesity genes. Crazy. Yeah. Okay, and she clearly looks healthy. She's clearly not obese. So what's your point?
Oh, I have obesity in my genes. I have cancer in my genes. Like, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, people can inherit, like, yeah, dude, cancer it can be passed down from genes. Are, like, what the fuck? Are you that fucking stupid? Like, I don't know, like, what country this guy belongs to, but it's just hilarious that this guy is more stupid than most Americans. It's funny that someone more stupid than typically than Americans is complaining about stupid Americans when he's even more stupid than those Americans.
Bro.
Commit to this. I also have a feeling that combo of ingredients there gets very funky in that Tupperware very fast. But anyway, this is not.
I'll make a video on that topic. Another video.
Okay, great. I'll debunk that video too. You fucking Nazi.
It's a very interesting topic.
Boy Kibble, we've come here to.
Yeah, because this is because he's never created anything of his own. He's literally just putting a random video on, using hate speech, derogatories, obsessing about other men's dicks and facial hairs, while also calling them gay. Pretty weird, pretty interesting, pretty interesting. The like the almost like the sociopathic traits.
Discuss. This is. Here it is, beef and rice. It does look like dog food. I will give the dietitians.
Yeah, because it's cooked to shreds.
No, it's not. It's just cooked. It's just cooked.
If it was just raw meat and rice, yeah.
That.
So he literally thinks that it's okay to eat raw meat and rice? Like uncooked rice? Raw rice? Uncooked rice? What the fuck? Are you what?
Especially
I mean, the rice is no bueno.
this guy served it up in what appears to be a plastic dog food bowl from the dollar store. But yeah, not much to see here, right? Kind of just an ugly, standard, get the job done type meal. Okay, yep, there it is. Now this guy added a hot sauce and a...
You see, the girls, they would be eating a bunch of vegetables, a bunch of fucking fruit, vapes, bunch of alcohol. That's what girls eat. They just eat like shit all day.
Girls eat vapes? Like, does he actually hear anything that he says out loud? Or is it just like there's no connection between his brain and his mouth? Like internal thoughts? Girls eat vapes and eat alcohol. How do you eat alcohol? I've never heard of someone eating vapes. That's crazy because I'm pretty sure you like inhale vapes. And typically someone that cares about their health and is like on a vegan diet won't be like an alcoholic because most people are vegan for like the health benefits. Maybe I should do a studies of like Dunning-Kruger, where like I just do a bunch of analyses like this on people with Dunning-Kruger syndrome and cognitive dissonance.
There it is. Now this guy added a hot sauce and a...
You see, the girls, they would be eating a bunch of vegetables, a bunch of fucking fruit.
The girls would be eating a bunch of vegetables, a bunch of fruit, but that guy is not a girl. And this is again is like the mind of like an adolescent stupid person. So they literally go around calling grown women girls. Like they don't even understand the difference between a girl and a woman. Just like he's a little boy.
Vapes.
He's definitely not a man. He's a little boy.
Bunch of alcohol. That's what girls eat. They just eat like shit all day.
Milk.
Bunch of
So he says they eat a bunch of healthy things and then says the healthy things are shit. Okay.
fast food. Bunch of 10 diet.
What part of the video made you believe that she's only eating fast food? Crazy, because like a lot of vegans don't eat fast food.
Cokes, yeah.
You've seen it, okay? You are caught up to date. There's not that many more videos of this. It's not that big of a trend like the article made it. Plus, a very stereotypically male way of solving a problem. The problem that is...
Yeah, getting it fucking solved and moving on. What you feel?
Is he drinking alcohol? What?
Male way of solving a problem. The problem that is...
Yeah, getting it fucking solved and moving on.
That looks
What
like
you feel
alcohol.
how to do. Just
It
sit there
sounds
and
like
bitch
one of
all
those
the time.
alcohol cap. What?
3 times a day is
That would
literally
explain a
the
lot.
problem you need to solve. It's a bit of work. Cooking, cleaning, planning, grocery shopping.
You don't have to clean. You don't have to cook.
It's a lot.
You can just eat food raw and you don't have to cook. This guy is literally eating raw meat with like salmonella and shit. Guarantee you this dude has like an intestinal parasite. And even the intestinal parasite is getting like run off stupidity.
Have to answer the following question every single day until you die. What am I going to make for dinner? And if you don't have a great system, this question will slowly start to drive you insane. It's part of why so many people in modern society eat fast food or...
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people base their lifestyle off of convenience than they do logic or reason or, you know, science.
Takeout all the time. It is actual work to feed yourself on top of...
Not really. I mean, you guys make it work. Again, people...
It depends. Like, it just depends, like, if you're okay with, like, you can just sacrifice a lot of time by just taking supplements and eating, like, a staple. Like, you can, like, David Goggins, which like, used to have the record for the world-leading record for pull-ups in 24 hours. Very strong fucking man. He basically almost entirely eats just oatmeal because oats have protein in them. They're quick. They have water packed with nutrients. No carcinogens. Oatmeal's fucking great, dude. Plus, oatmeal is cheap as fuck. It's also really filling.
People make their lives hard and then they fucking complain about it. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of doing this shit. Dude, if you ate how human...
If you're really tired of it, why are you even watching the video if you're that tired of it?
We're supposed to be eating, you wouldn't need to cook. You wouldn't...
What? That makes no sense. So he's saying that if we're eating what we were supposed to be, we wouldn't need to cook. So you don't have to cook meat. You don't have to cook anything. But that's only if humans were obligate carnivores, which we're not. We're omnivores. We still need to cook meat. Crazy. Even our even cavemen cooked meat. Like, you do realize that, right? Even like cavemen cooked meat. That's one of the reasons why we evolved, is because the extra nutrients and everything from cooking it helped us like evolve, but we also didn't live past 30 years old. Like, the average lifespan was literally 30 years old.
need to clean.
Is this like an Asmongold like stand or something? Like, everyone needs to clean. What are you talking about?
Everything else
But, oh, I'm gonna make it my problem.
all have going on.
Fuck
all the time.
off.
I keep seeing this sentiment go viral lately. Adulthood is realizing 90% of your life is figuring out what to do with chicken or ground beef. There it is, a problem to be
How
solved.
about you just
Yeah, just don't eat chicken or ground beef. It's that simple. That's crazy. When you realize getting older means dinner, beef, chicken for the rest of your life, that's crazy, man. Like, you can live entirely off of just like peanut butter sandwiches just fine.
eat it?
And in general, it's
Just eat it? The raw meat? What the fuck? Like, this guy is seriously insane. Just eat the raw meat. I don't think I've ever been this stupid in my entire life. Like, I don't think I've ever been this stupid.
chicken or ground beef. There it is, a problem to be
How
solved.
about you just eat it?
And in general, it's fair to say that men are more
Because you could get salmonella and die. It's also a good way to get tapeworms. Over 40% of people that like eat red meat typically get tapeworms. Crazy. Like, you don't get tapeworms from eating plants.
what's the word, utilitarian in the way that they solve problems. They
Yeah,
just
right?
do
Utilitarian in the way they solve problems. I know, right?
the thing. They don't really worry about like little frills or anything
Yeah, the little frills being outliers.
like that. They just
Ethical
We're not
myopia.
retarded.
get the job done. So are
No,
we
you
doing
clearly are. Like, you clearly are that. Like, you clearly are everything that you claim other people are.
that the current and maybe only male food trend is just the simplest way to make a meal? Oh my god, damn, god, what is going on in that pan? The color, I think this is seasoning clumped. Oh my gosh, the wetness of it all, that does not look right. The female brain cannot comprehend this joy. You're absolutely right about that. You got me there. Really important to say here, if you're gonna cook ground beef all the time,
Again, meat has high levels of estrogen. So if you're all for masculinity and you're obsessed with masculinity, you wouldn't be eating beef,
learn how to do it right. Just
right?
just one time, just look it up. Because I don't know what's going on in that.
Yeah, I don't know why it looks like
But
that.
you are objective.
But you were just saying eat it raw. So why are you talking about why it looks like that if you're literally talking about eating raw meat?
doing it wrong. That is an abomination. Turn up the heat in the pan.
That looks like tuna.
Turn up the heat.
Like, that looks like
Turn
fucking
up the heat.
tuna.
That the temperature is not hot enough on that pan. It is not one of those things where there's no wrong way to do it. There is a wrong way to do it, and it's right there.
If your
Right.
pavement ends up looking like this, all grey and watery, this is how you fix it. First step, make sure you preheat your pan properly. It takes longer than you think.
Alright, bro, I don't
Look at the
even know how to
difference.
cook.
So much worse.
Clearly you do.
And then just a whole bowl of ground beef at the end there. Oh my god, I'm watching.
I'm surprised he doesn't need a reminder to breathe.
Well, like, I don't understand why these Westerners call it like, bro, just it's fucking food. It's meat. The fuck is boy kibble? Why are you females are always naming shit some stupid fucking name?
Actually, it wasn't her. It wasn't the woman that called it that. That's just like what people call that trend. Like, it's a trend. It's a social media trend. That's just what both people, like both like genders, sexes, etc., call it. They call it like the kibble trend. Again, like, he doesn't understand the difference between a girl and a woman. Crazy. I seriously hope that this guy dies a virgin.
Why is there so
What the fuck are they making? Why are you dumping a whole thing of chicken in this
Why
small
would
ass
anyone
pan,
put
bro?
a pile, literally, of meat in there completely? For me, plain ground beef is actually tasty with just salt. Like, it's good plain to me, which is why this.
Well, that's not plain. That is salt. Salt is toxic.
Oh my god. Meat causes cancer and has high levels of estrogen, and you're complaining about salt. Salt is toxic. Actually, no, meat is toxic. Dairy is toxic. All plant product or all animal products are toxic. They're in the same carcinogen as cigarettes. So I guess like his idea is that smoking cigarettes is probably good for you is probably what he believes. That's crazy. Salt is toxic? This is like a train wreck that I can't stop watching.
Plain to me, which is why this.
Well, that's not plain. That is salt. Salt is toxic. Me, I eat plain ground beef, and it tastes fine. You know, man, I made a steak the other day, a bison steak, and let me tell you, it had no seasoning, no nothing. And bro, it was the best steak I ever had in my entire life. Juicy as
Makes
fuck.
sense. But to not season your chicken.
This is like a typical like low IQ person. They not only have they committed like probably 100 logical fallacies at this point and display just about every sort of bias and a bigotry imaginable, but they base like their choices off of baseless, like of meaningless sensory pleasures. Like it tastes good, therefore it's moral. What? That makes no sense.
Chicken breast? That's actually sick. He seasoned it off camera, right, babe? I would actually break up over this. And yes, it is that
What?
serious. I mean, you don't have to, but golly, you're stronger than me, girl. Also, watching that clip, there is no way this guy is seriously gonna eat that. I don't think it's rage bait. I mean, look at his face while he's doling it out. He's serious. But I seriously think this is like day one of a new. So here I am with my big bowl of beans. Don't mind me. I did not make it long on that diet.
She lost a lot of weight eating beans.
Day one of a new. So here.
That's crazy. She lost a lot of weight eating beans, if that's the case.
Here I am with my big bowl of beans. Don't mind me. I did not make it long on that diet, and I don't think this guy.
Oh, she didn't make it that long on the
I
diet.
wish him
Okay.
well, but I don't have high hopes. It doesn't change the macros to add seasoning to your food. It doesn't. When you
Well, yeah, that's true, but you know,
Here's a fun fact. Macroing your nutrients doesn't work if you're still eating any sort of animal products. Just like if you're like exercising, um, like it makes no point if you're also smoking and drinking alcohol or also exposing yourself to asbestos. Like animal products are literally comparison in a comparison to asbestos. Crazy, right? But it's true.
the only thing in life is not macros, bro. We're not retarded here. You know, there's a thing called micronutrients and nutrients that you need to survive.
Yeah, like vegetables.
to add
Yeah,
seasoning,
and there's also toxins in these
playing a
seasonings.
joke on yourself. Now this
That's why you smell like shit after you eat garlic and onion,
is the
because
most
that's toxins in it.
version of the
I don't actually think that's the case. I've never heard that. This is fascinating. Garlic itself is not toxic. Okay, well, garlic isn't toxic. It has what? If garlic smells musty, moldy, or a sour odor, it is simply spoiled and should be thrown out. Why does garlic smell? Ruptures cells, triggering an enzyme called alliinase to convert the compound allicin to allicin. Allicin is a volatile sulfur-containing molecule responsible for the garlic's pungent aroma and flavor. It creates several other sulfur compounds. AMS is not easily metabolized by the body and is Garlic is not toxic to humans in normal culinary amounts, but it can be toxic to dogs, cats, and some other animals, and excessive consumption in humans can cause adverse health effects. So yeah, moderation in everything, including moderation. So yeah, garlic isn't toxic. It has nothing to do with the fact why it smells the way it does. Also, smells are completely subjective. Like it's according to like the part in your brain and like your taste buds that determines whether you think something smells good or not. Not everyone has that same sense of smell and taste.
Boy kibble thing where the person doing it gives absolutely zero fucks. No seasoning, no hot sauce.
That you need to. There's also toxins in these seasonings.
To add
Yeah,
seasoning.
and there's also toxins in these seasonings.
Playing a joke on yourself. Now this
That's why you smell like shit after you eat garlic and onion,
is
because
the
that's
most extreme
toxins in it.
version of the boy kibble thing where the person doing it gives absolutely zero fucks. No seasoning, no hot sauce, no rice, no cooking skills. But a lot of people in the comments pointed out
Who gives a shit?
The most obvious nutrition problem.
How about you cook your own food, bro? I don't know.
This, why aren't there any vegetables? Which, by the way,
Because vegetables are bad for you.
someone had the
No, they're not.
audacity to comment this back. Vegetables aren't even worth the calories burned
Literally, bro.
chewing on them. I don't know where to start with that. Like, what do you say to someone whose opinion is vegetables aren't worth the calories burned chewing on them? Now, obviously,
Well, if vegetables aren't worth the calories burned on chewing on them, then neither is meat.
I could talk about the health benefits.
Right?
Oh, what health benefits? Please talk about them. I would love to hear. So it says essential vitamins, even though it's missing a lot of B vitamins.
So is meat. Again, most people that consume animal products are deficient in B12. This is why a lot of people just take a supplement to make up for whatever it is they're lacking in their staple and their typical diet, because most people don't have the time to sit there and gourmet make a bunch of fucking shit and worry about macronutrients or micronutrients. So like they'll just take a supplement. Like it's the most logical, sane like thing to do.
Vitamin D, vitamin K2.
Yeah, most people just take a vitamin. Like, what kind of insane? Like this dude. Like if this dude actually like did a panel I'm pretty sure he'd be like deficient in some vitamins because all he eats are meat. He doesn't eat any vegetables. And all vegetables have nutrients in them. So, yeah.
You don't need antioxidants. You don't need fiber.
Yes, you do. Holy shit. Fiber is a great fiber is actually great for building muscle. Last I checked. Yep. Higher dietary fiber intake is associated with increased muscle mass, reduced fat mass, and improved muscle strength, particularly in adults over 40. While fiber does not directly fuel muscle protein synthesis, it creates an anabolic environment by stabilizing blood glucose, improving insulin sensitivity, and reducing systemic inflammation. Crazy. So, like, yeah, if you're worried about like muscle and protein and shit like that, then you naturally want a lot of fiber, and fiber is in plants. So, yeah. I found like that doing streams like this, I actually learn a lot more because someone proposes incorrect information, and then like I know it sounds incorrect, so I fact check it, and then I have the answer to something I didn't even know beforehand. Like I've learned a lot of things, like phytic acid, the difference between no nutrients and anti nutrients. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I've learned quite a bit. And fiber. So let's see, fiber. Increases muscle gain. Reduces inflammation.
You don't need antioxidants. You don't need fiber.
Yeah, this guy also doesn't need brain cells.
Minerals. Please tell me what sodium are you getting from from vegetables? I'd love to know.
Fiber and the rising rates of colon.
Wouldn't you get sodium from salt? Like, can't you get sodium from salt? Yeah. More than 70% of sodium intake comes from packaged, prepared, and restaurant foods where salt is added for flavor, preservation, and texture. Crazy. So, yeah, salt. That's where you get sodium from typically. Salt. Crazy how, like, this third grade science is that simple. Like, if you need sodium, you just eat salt. That's why people who have dietary conditions where salt increases what do you call it? It's like a swelling I can't think. I think it starts with an E. Where like you swell up according to how much sodium you have. I forget what the name of the condition is. But yeah, like there's a condition where if you have too high levels of sodium, like your legs will swell like really big. And naturally, people with that condition avoid sodium, so they avoid salty products. Yeah, the rising rates of colon cancer. Yep. What is he going to say about this? Colon cancer is rising in young adults and doctors don't fully... Oh, yeah, we know why. Eating cruciferous vegetables may cut colon cancer risk. Not only that, because vegetables don't cause cancer, but meat does cause cancer. So that's clearly why. Like, it's crazy that a lot of doctors, which doctors aren't nutritionists, by the way, which I feel like if you're a doctor or like a GP, it should be mandatory to know plant-based science, to know that animal products are unhealthy. But maybe there's like some sort of a conspiracy there, because if doctors advised everyone on the healthiest diet, they wouldn't be getting as sick. So maybe that's why a lot of doctors recommend the most unhealthiest products. They get sick and they come back.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that's why more. Yeah, it's because we're not eating enough vegetables, right? Yeah, totally. It's totally not because of the fucking chemicals in the food. It's totally not.
Actually, the chemicals in the food, are you talking about all the chemicals they pump into animals, like a human growth hormone? Hormone? You mean like that? Or let's talk about the antibiotics that they pump cows and shit full with. Did you know that the shit that they pump in meat actually reduces your immune system? Actually helps spread super bugs? Like, meat literally helps spread super bugs that you have no resistance to because of the antibiotics that they pump the animals full with. Like, the germs like evolve from that to get better than the antibiotics because they've been constantly like been exposed to it so much. So this is like easily searchable again. Animal products, antibiotics, superbug. Overuse of antibiotics in livestock is a primary driver of antibiotic-resistant superbugs, with approximately 75 to 80% of antibiotics in the US and globally used in animals rather than humans. These drugs are often administered to healthy animals to promote growth or prevent disease in unsanitary crowded conditions, because the animals that he eats are literally covered in their own feces. He literally eats a being covered in shit. He literally eats basically cow shit. He eats pig shit because that's what the animals are covered in. Like, they literally live in shit. Like, factory farm animals literally live inside, like, in shit. That's why they use antibiotics. It's crazy. It's counterproductive, and it's also like insane. Like, it's completely like the antithesis of sanity. Like, they're forced to stand in shit for their entire life. So then they need antibiotics. They're given antibiotics, and then that just creates superbugs. Crazy. Wait, where's the super? What the fuck?
Yeah, totally. It's totally not because of the fucking chemicals in the food. It's totally not. It's totally not because of the microplastics. It's totally not because of.
Your meat is covered in microplastics. Like, what do you think your meat comes in? It comes in with microplastics. Basically, microplastics are everywhere. So this guy's only solution is to stop eating, which would actually be the most sane approach in someone this stupid.
The fucking pharmaceutical drugs that 80% of Americans take.
You mean like the superbug that superbugs that are created by the antibiotics, the shit that they pump in animals that you eat for no reason?
Yeah, totally
Or I
not
could talk
that.
about the fact that chefs.
Yeah, it's just gotta eat more veggies, eat more anti-nutrients.
The world would slap you for a phrase like that. But on top of that,
Slap me
even
then,
without a
cool.
Point, you know who really likes vegetables? Sailors. Sailors from the 1800s.
Yeah, this is a good point. Right? If you completely abstain entirely from vegetables, you will become malnourished. You will develop deficiency, like scurvy. Scurvy is caused from not eating vegetables. So if you go a really long period of time and you don't eat vegetables, you can develop scurvy. Like, there are plenty of Americans even that develop scurvy. Like, people think it's like this thing that doesn't happen anymore, but that's not true. Like, it happens all the time.
From the 1700s, they would literally stock their hull full of vegetables, specifically cabbage, sauerkraut, in order
Not
to
always.
prevent their teeth from falling out of their skulls. We all know scurvy.
Yep, see, scurvy. Scurvy. Yep, called it. Scurvy.
And it's just one of the many nutritional deficiencies that
He actually skipped over that. I think he did that intentionally.
vegetables can help you prevent. Also, you guys.
Bro, there's vitamin C in raw meat. There's vitamin C in raw honey. There's vitamin C in raw milk. If you add those things together.
Actually, raw milk is extremely horrible for you. It's actually banned. Like, last I checked, like, raw milk was actually banned in America, except for like one specific like brand. Like, raw milk is literally banned. It's so bad for you. That is so crazy. That is so crazy.
You're probably gonna get enough vitamin C for the day. Plus, you don't even need vitamin C anyways.
So she literally mentioned scurvy, which, if I remember correctly, is a vitamin C deficiency. And then he says you don't even need vitamin C. Crazy.
If you're not eating any sugar, you don't need vitamin C.
Sugar is in almost every. What? 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 If you're not eating any sugar, you don't need vitamin C. Incorrect. You still need vitamin C even if you do not eat sugar, because humans cannot synthesize it internally and must attain it from diet.
If you're not eating any sugar, you don't need vitamin C.
Saladino, the guy who calls himself Carnivore MD,
Do you think your ancestors got excited about eating pond scum?
the guy who basically became famous for hating on vegetables.
You sometimes
Yeah, good. We love Paul.
which vegetables are okay to eat.
So illogical. Like, this guy is like all emotion, no logic, no reasoning. Completely insane. Like, this person is literally like insane.
My answer
Even though Paul's kind of lost it recently, but
is no.
that's besides the point.
Your ancestors really have self.
Not really.
Do you really need
Nope.
these?
They literally, our ancestors.
Our ancestors cooked meat. Our ancestors also ate vegetables. Like, our ancestors ate both. But our ancestors also didn't live past 30. Our ancestors also raped other human beings. So I guess this guy is like, his goal of ethical living is to rape other people. We already know that he's a Nazi, so that doesn't surprise me if he's a rapist as well.
Ancestors literally would have not celebrated broccoli because broccoli is a man-made vegetable. It wasn't even around back then.
I'm not even gonna fact check that. That just sounds so stupid.
The optimal? I say no, not a chance. Total bullshit.
Going to the grocery store.
This is why they want you to eat a bunch of broccoli, because it's man-made. They want you to eat the GMOs.
Actually, no. Animal agriculture wants you to eat meat and shit. That's why they have whole propaganda campaigns. Like, the whole dairy industry has the whole got milk propaganda. Like, the entire reason people started using milk with cereal, with dry cereal, is because of the animal agriculture propaganda. That you need, like, it basically made people obsessed with cereal in the morning. It literally created an entire tradition around eating cereal for your first meal of the day. Crazy.
with no
Same
food.
thing with the corn.
Like, also, so animal livestock are man-made. So the animals that you eat are man-made. They're genetically engineered by humans. So you are for man-made things. You say you're not, but you really are. That's crazy.
And yelling at people to not eat vegetables.
How are you going to get your choline from eating plants? Where are you going to get choline from? Where are you going to get creatine from? Where are you going to get carnitine from?
Powder.
Where are you going to get anserine and taurine? Where are you going to get vitamin K2? You ever heard of vitamin K2?
Vitamins. It's called vitamins.
No.
Oh yeah, really? Yeah. What evidence? Evidence? Can you show me that? No, you can't.
Oh my god, I fucking hate this guy. I fucking hate this guy. So fucking
Fucking
stupid.
idiots, bro.
Again.
You are the biggest fucking idiot I've seen in my entire goddamn life. Like, it's not enough that he's just fucking stupid and incompetent, but he's also like a racist fucking homophobic bigot. It's so fucking crazy. He's literally everything wrong with America.
Yeah, asparagus. I bet you guys didn't expect to see.
Man, we don't.
Look how crazy he's getting at the sight of a vegetable. He's literally losing his mind over a vegetable. A single vegetable. He sees vegetables and he covers his webcam. This guy is literally fucking crazy.
We don't listen to new Paul. We listen to old Paul. We don't listen to asparagus. Asparagus Paul, bro.
I feel pretty decent with asparagus. It's nice to get some variety, different flavors. I'm open to incorporating a few vegetables. I guess technically you've got as a vegetable as well.
So all in all, in 2026, you hear someone say that vegetables aren't worth the calories burned chewing on them or whatever. It's just crazy. It's misinformed. And maybe all this.
How is it misinformed?
Because that's not what the science says. It's in the name. Misinformed. Miss being like not informed. So not informed. It's not informed because it makes no sense.
Where's the evidence? Again, you're just saying, you're just
You can easily just Google this and find the evidence.
fucking saying shit, bro.
This is the laziest fucking person I've ever seen in my entire goddamn life. Like, literally the laziest, most stupid fucking inbred motherfucker. I hope, for the benefit of all humankind, that this dude dies a fucking virgin.
Bro.
Dietitians are so mad. While the trend offers a simple and cheap way to max out protein consumption, some dietitians are concerned it's leaving out other nutrients.
Exactly.
Abby Sharp, a
Really?
registered dietitian, said this protein
It's funny how like she shows evidence and then he just ignores the evidence. So he's like sitting there the whole time like, show me the evidence, where's the evidence? And then she shows evidence and then he's just like, it's like, okay, there's the evidence, so what's your point?
But a vegan diet,
Oh, this is another moron that doesn't know that veganism isn't a diet. It's an ethical framework and a lifestyle and also a form of activism. It's not a diet. Veganism uses a plant-based diet. There's a difference between a plant-based diet and veganism. Veganism uses a plant-based diet. Like, this is a common misconception of, like, morons that don't ever do any research.
Oh, yeah, you get all the nutrients, yeah.
Yeah. Also, and if you don't, you could just take a supplement. It's that easy. You just take a fucking vitamin.
Yeah, but a meat diet, yeah, you're missing nutrients.
Yeah, you are, because all vegetables have nutrients. And meat is terrible. Like, meat does... It's missing so many nutrients.
Dude, these people, again, they're trying to make you sick.
Oh my god. The irony is that he's literally helping people. Like, this guy is not just like physically sick, he's mentally sick. There's something seriously wrong with him. I don't know if his parents like dropped him on his head like a dozen fucking times, but he's literally doing everything that he accuses everyone else of doing and has such little self-awareness. Like, I've seen fish that have more self-awareness than this motherfucker. Like, there are fish smarter than him. Like, I feel like that's that's really hard to do. Like, that's really hard to do. Like, it's hard to imagine, but there are fish smarter than him that have more self-awareness.
They're trying to make you a slave. They're trying to make you
a slave? You're literally arguing to being a slave to propaganda that's not based in science, to animal agriculture. You're literally a slave to your emotions. You're literally a slave to your ignorance. You are literally a slave to your insanity.
You stupid. They're trying to make you weak. It's all part of their plan. Wake up.
Yeah, because you look like you're not weak at all with your double chin. You look like you're not weak at all with your double chin.
If the government is telling you to eat fruits and vegetables, are you really gonna listen to the fucking government, bro?
I'm going to listen to the studies. And, you know, like, all the studies aren't necessarily produced by the government. That's why you consult multiple sources for studies, because scientists do have bias. And this is also where you have a meta-analysis. And meta-analysis is like an overview of multiple studies to get like a more definitive view of multiple studies together. Yeah, like, so this nutritionfacts.org, this isn't government backed. It's a doctor, an actual doctor, but it's not by the government. So Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy.
After everything they've done, you now you. Oh, but
You're not even an American. Like, you're not even an American, so, like, how would you fucking know anything about the government?
But the government, the scientists said it's healthy, bro. They're all connected, bro. Think for yourself. Do your own research.
That's ironic. Someone saying do your own research that literally that says the entire time show the evidence and then just calls the evidence lies. So don't do your own evidence.
Use your own brain.
You would first have to learn how to use your own brain before you can tell someone else how to use theirs.
And figure out what the truth is.
It's pretty simple what the truth is. It's pretty easy.
Carnivore style
You don't need fiber.
diet phase is
Yeah, you do.
displacing beneficial fiber
You do if you want muscles.
that 95% of North Americans aren't getting enough of. Other than fiber, Americans are also deficient in vitamin D, calcium, and potassium.
Yeah, and see, most Americans eat meat, and they're deficient in all of these vitamins and and whatnot.
Yeah, no shit, because they're eating all the fucking vegetables.
No, okay, so you're saying that every American is vegan? That's not true. Like, vegans are 4% of the entire planet.
That have anti-nutrients that bind to the calcium. And they're eating a bunch of vegetables that don't contain vitamin D. Oh, I wonder why.
According to the 2020 to
Where are you gonna find vitamin D in vegetables?
You get it from the sun. Are you that fucking retarded? Like, are you seriously that fucking retarded? Like, serious, I don't use that word that much, but this guy literally is fucking retarded.
Where are you gonna find calcium in vegetables? I'd love to know.
25 dietary
No, you wouldn't. You just say it's a lie.
guidelines for
This guy's allergic to
These-
facts.
These health experts contradict themselves all the time.
To be sure, many
That's hilarious. That's all this guy does is contradict himself. He literally contradicted himself in the first minute of the video.
devotees tout the trend with a half-joking air. Some TikTokers also include vegetables like kale and spinach, while others treat themselves to seasoning or hot sauce. But for many of those hopping onto the trend, it's that blandness and simplicity that gives boy kibble its appeal. Okay, the thing is, the men eating the boy kibble thing are not carnivores because they're eating white rice. I don't think anything nefarious
True.
is happening here. Like the article said, it's the blandness and simplicity people are into. I don't think it's about much else.
Ground beef and rice. It's easy to cook and it's cheap. What it's not is healthy.
This guy just looks like the J word.
I'll say boy.
What? Did he say J word? What's... What? Janitor? What? The J word? So he literally was he's literally called people like the F slur. Like faggots and shit like that, but not like the way I said it, but the other way. He's literally used hate speech, like actual like hate speech. Like in a way against people. Like not just the word, but against actual people. He's literally used hate speech against people. And now he's saying the J word?
Boy kibble is healthier than a lot of the junk I ate when I was in college.
Ground beef really does have...
Oh, what is he about to say? He's about to say, oh, what? Look how fucking pissed this guy looks. He's just ready to interject.
Junk I ate when I was in college.
Beef
Yes, he was about to go spaz off, bro.
really
Fuck
does
out of
have
here.
a major advantage over a lot of other protein sources.
You're literally like, there's a difference between being emotional and like logically being emotional to something. So this guy is literally 100% emotion, no logic, no reasoning, no common sense. Definitely no common sense in this guy's genes. This guy is making purely emotion-based reasoning and statements. Like everything he says is emotion-based, not logical or scientific. And he's talking about other people being emotional. That's crazy.
It's super convenient, it cooks fast in the pan, tastes good with minimal seasoning and minimal skill, it defrosts quickly if you forget to take it out of the freezer, and when you cook it, it actually reheats in a non-gross way, allowing you to make a ton of it in advance and to happily eat it throughout the week without it being funky. Rice, same thing. Now, ideally, people would add a vegetable as naturally as they add rice, but vegetables get skipped because it's an extra step that a lot of people don't love. So before we get to the other dietitian commentary that kind of goes off the wall a bit, let me quickly break down for you the easiest possible ways to bump up the nutrition in boy kibble without barely any extra effort. Let's start with
Let's see how to bump our nutrition. Let's see.
fiber.
Let's see.
Ground beef plus white rice equals 0.5 grams of
Fiber is unnecessary. Do you need fiber to stay alive? No.
fiber, which
Well, you do if you want like if you want extra muscle, then yeah, you want fiber. Clearly, he wants to stay fat and weak. He's literally fat and weak.
or
Unnecessary.
you could do ground beef plus brown rice plus avocado. Now you're at 7 grams of fiber. which is pretty
Unnecessary.
good. Add some frozen raspberries on the side. Frozen
Anti-nutrients.
cheap and they
Anti-intellectual, anti-brain cells, anti-common sense, anti-rationale, anti-logic, anti-adult, anti-equality. Yeah, you want to talk about anti? You're plenty of antis.
don't go bad. Now you're at 12 grams of fiber. Now the meal is
Okay, so let's go over it. Now you're at 12 grams of fiber, but now you've just lost nutrients that you need to stay alive.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't. That's not how anti-nutrients work. That's not how anti-nutrients work. Because the anti-nutrients are basically like cooked out and they're washed out, etc. So you don't like, this is crazy. Like this This guy literally thinks that vegetables don't give you nutrients. Like, I am just so, like, dumbfounded on his literal mental deficiencies. Like, this is crazy.
By the raspberries and the rice and the avocado, which have oxalates, lectins, tannins.
He's just randomly saying things.
Bunch of anti-nutrients that are going to bind to those calcium, zinc, and iron that you find in the meat. So you're not going to get it anymore. So now you literally just you actually made the nutrition worse. But
no.
But we're making it better, aren't we? We're totally making it better.
Didn't cook an extra thing. Plus, you also added
Yeah, our ancestors ate plants with meat. They didn't eat just meat. That's why we're omnivores. If, like, it makes no sense. If we were just carnivores, our ancestors wouldn't have even eaten plants.
Antioxidants and beneficial fats.
Do you need antioxidants? No. Are polyunsaturated fats necessary?
Do you need animal products? No. Do you need carcinogenic heart disease? Do you need estrogen? No. Well, I mean, clearly he needs his estrogen, which is probably why he's so fat. But yeah, he loves his estrogen.
Yes, but they're only like sub 10% of your body. You don't really need them. You need saturated fat, which is in meat.
No, you don't.
In the laziest way possible. But anyway,
you don't know anything about what you're talking.
Open a book. Like, who is your daddy and what does he do? Clearly, he didn't teach you anything. Clearly, whatever country you're in, the education system is worse than American education system. Like, I can't imagine an American, like, I can't imagine an education system that's worse than American, but his education system is worse than American education system. It completely failed him. Remember the whole no kid left behind thing for the education system? No kid left behind? This kid got left behind by, like, states, by, like, countries, like, left behind the entire fucking planet.
About you're giving people advice.
You're giving people disinformation that's harmful. You're giving conspiracy theories. You're giving propaganda. You're giving you're giving pseudoscience. Like, that's literally what it is. It's pseudoscience.
You're giving people health advice.
You're giving people racism. You're giving people bigotry. You're giving people hate speech. Yeah, I don't know.
Don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
That's ironic. He literally knows nothing about what he's talking about, as I've proven.
the dietitian situation.
You know, I get it. I used to be one of those people, bro.
You're still one of those people. This is like, he is never going to leave Dunning-Kruger syndrome. He's never going to get out of Dunning-Kruger and narcissism. Like, he is too low IQ with his narcissism to ever actually be correct.
But you know, now I kind of, you know, if I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I just keep my mouth shut.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? No, you don't, dude. You've spent 24 minutes talking complete bullshit, harassing people over the internet, literally using hate speech, which is against TOS, by the way. But of course, YouTube doesn't give a shit about TOS, but just fucking crazy.
Sharp, who has over 1 million followers on TikTok, where she reviews users' eating habits and popular dietary trends, warns that the commitment to the meal could slip into dangerous territory. This meal is 0% ultra-processed food. That's a major step up. I feel like it's kind of good that some people can enjoy a very muscle 7 times per TikTok diet.
In meat, you get every nutrient you need to survive.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You get everything you need to survive when you eat meat.
No, you
Where
don't.
does this information come from?
Clearly, like, your brain, which has very few brain cells left, is just like a hamster in a wheel doing cartwheels.
If you don't believe me, look it up for yourself.
I already did. I already proved you're wrong about absolutely everything. He hasn't been right about a single thing, which is like kind of an achievement. You would think statistically by now he'd be correct about something, but he hasn't been correct about one single fucking thing.
Family. Yeah, but nobody
Like,
said only eat this for the rest of your life. They're eating it once per day. And to be honest, there's not even that many videos.
and bro, the people who tell you this too, they'll be fucking ugly, obese.
That's ironic, says the ugly, obese motherfucker.
Like, why should I take health advice from you?
You really think that, like, a proper diet affects whether you're ugly or not? That is so crazy. Like, that has nothing to do with appearance, and appearance is also subjective.
About this topic. The news loves doing
Fuck.
this. I swear I'll see a new article about trend. I'm like, oh, neat. I go check it out. Not a trend. Fun fact, the news also makes stock content, and it's resulting in problems that don't actually exist. The article then goes on to say that apparently the whole idea of boy kibble was created by this guy in this clip.
Y'all may have girls
Boy who can't do anything, who can't defend himself, can't defend his family, can't stand up to the government, first of all. And they're trying to make you weak. That's all it is.
You're a literal boy. Like, you're a literal boy. What are you talking about? You're a literal boy filled with fucking estrogen. Like, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but you're clearly fucking gay. Like, you're clearly super fucking gay. Like, I don't think there's a measurement for how gay you are.
Take here, but I'm starting to feel like I have to. A lot of internet dietitians rub me the wrong way. Okay, that's the truth. I had to get it out there. They really do. Like, this is ground beef plus rice. It is so much better than 99% of the things you could possibly eat in the
True.
world. And yet it's extremely
It's not true. No, it being like rice and meat is not better than 90% of the things you could eat, for the simple fact that all animal products cause cancer and are objectively harmful for you. There's no logical reason why you would ever eat animal products unless you're like basing your lifestyle off of emotions, like taste, you know? Basing what you eat on taste is an emotion based choice, because it's certainly not evidence based. It's certainly not logical. It's certainly not rational to base what you eat on what tastes good. Like, there's nothing logical or rational about that. There's nothing sane about that.
really does feel like sometimes that internet dietitians, are so quick to jump on someone for having some sort of healthy lifestyle or
And this is ironic because she's not a dietitian either. It's crazy when people want to literally call dietitians who are correct wrong when they're not even a dietitian. So literally it's a video about two people with Dunning-Kruger syndrome and some sort of narcissism, where she's slightly more intelligent than this narcissist with Dunning-Kruger syndrome. So you got one person with Dunning-Kruger that made the original video, and then you have another person that's even completely more stupid, and incompetent, like fucking child, that's clearly closeted gay, talking about how no, she's the wrong one, with no fucking evidence behind a single claim.
grasping at a healthy lifestyle.
He probably doesn't even know how to show or fact check something. And he knows he's wrong because if he fact checked it, it would prove him wrong. And this is the thing about narcissists, that they're anti-fact check, because if there's a chance that what they're saying is wrong, they don't want to be proven wrong because they cannot handle being wrong.
And yet, at the same time, okay, rarely address anything like sugar, ultra-processed foods, junk food, the food industry.
Man, are you gonna get it through your head, bro? Maybe there's a reason why they're doing that. You know, you think.
And see, that's why people never learn anything like this. Like, because since they never have to fact check, they never have to be proven wrong. If you're never proven wrong, then you'll never learn. You'll just keep spewing disinformation, incorrect information. propaganda.
You would think there's no way these people are that dumb, right? And then you get to the realization of, okay, yeah, I was right. They're not that dumb. They're trying to spread an agenda. They're trying.
Just like him, he's literally spreading an agenda about overthrowing the government. Like, some would say that's even terroristic. Like a terroristic ideology. He's literally talking about overthrowing a government.
Trying to brainwash everybody.
At all, you know,
The irony in someone that's actually brainwashing people.
Please tell me this is not a dietitian. This person looks like a fucking...
Why does that that has nothing to do with anything? Like, again, like a fucking obese motherfucker with 2 chins and the lowest IQ of a goldfish. Like, no, that's actually offensive to the goldfish. That's like completely offensive to the goldfish.
Transgender alien.
Whoever this boy's parents are, like, they should not have any more children. Like, it should be a crime for this boy's parents to have had children. Like, it should be a crime for Nazis like this to reproduce. His parents, the education system, logic, reasoning, facts, completely failed him. Completely failed him. There is no hope for this fucking idiot. There's absolutely no hope for this fucking retard.
These Pop-Tarts are inspired by fruit flavors. A+. It's a video of a truck driver who only eats gas station taquitos and donuts. Dietitian here.
Okay, I'm done with this video. That guy is, like, beyond fucking help. Holy shit.